I'm not normally a fan of games which are hard for the sake of being hard, and there were quite a few these days with games like Dark Souls requiring you to get good by slowly improving with each death. Of course, there are some games which are hard because of broken game mechanics, and then there's some which are hard because you need to know exactly what the game wants you to do. Yolanda was one of those games which I remember as a kid. It came as a demo on the cover disc for something. The disc is somewhere in my collection, I'm not sure where. It must be either on an ST format or ST user disc. I remember playing, or at least trying to play the demo, and my experience didn't last very long. It wasn't that it was completely terrible, it was just that it was so difficult, so very quickly. In fact, the first time playing this, you'll probably lose all your lives and see the game over screen within about 10 seconds. I mean, I could show you what your first experience is probably gonna be. Yep, that's pretty much it. That's how quick it is. So Yolanda is a single screen, one player platformer where you simply have to get to the exit in time. Now if you take too long, just like my last example when you start a level, then the platform that you're standing on will catch on fire. So basically you have to keep moving, and worse, Yolanda doesn't seem to have any ability to kill any of the enemies on the screen, so you're totally reliant on dodging and jumping through. I believe there are around 50 levels in all, and each time you die it sends you to a random stage. So you do get a different one each play, which makes it much harder to remember the pattern of the stages. Memorization is important here because there are numerous occasions where the only way to complete a level is to jump on platforms which are invisible until you jump on them. Yes, this is one of those games where you're going to have to experiment, die, case and repeat until you eventually complete it. Graphically, the game does look good, without really impressing all that much. The sprite animation is smooth and you can easily identify what everything is, so it does the job. It does like a little bit of variety in the stage designs, and the enemies do tend to repeat themselves. But overall, it does look good enough. Again, this is a single screen game, so we don't get any of the scrolling jerkiness that happens in so many ST games. I have seen people play the Amiga version, and for some reason, it does have a different soundtrack. I mean completely different. I prefer the one that the ST version has, but it's really odd why it differed. You'd thought that they would share resources. Gameplay wise, the only thing that Yolanda is able to do is jump. She cannot attack enemies, pick up items, and will die in one hit. As a result, touching virtually anything will result in death. Add to this, certain platforms are red herrings. They will instantly disappear or set on fire if you touch them, once again ending in death. Oh, and if you wait too long at the start of the level, then the platform you start on will also catch on fire. I'm not joking about this, sometimes you only have less than a second to react. There's even one level where you have to jump immediately, or else a flying fireball will kill you in the first few seconds. Even if you complete a level, it's usually over in about 30 seconds. Apart from the large difficulty, the game plays well enough for the joystick, with Yolanda being very responsive. It's just whether you're happy enough about dying on regular intervals. I've never personally beaten this game, but whilst it can be frustrating, it isn't necessarily a bad game. For what it's set out to do, it does a reasonable job and is worth a play. However, there are notably better platforming games on the Atari ST. But having said that, let's get on with the gameplay video. So I'm gonna go as far as I can in Yolanda, so let's get on with it.